He was a failure. As a boxer, as a businessman, and most importantly, as a father. He sold his own son for $100,000 without thinking twice about it. And then that same son, the one he threw away, came back into his life, found a broken robot nobody wanted in a junkyard, and turned it into the most dangerous fighter on the planet. This is not just a story about robots fighting. This is a story about a man who had to lose everything to finally figure out what actually mattered. And trust me, by the end of this one, you are going to be cheering so loud your neighbors are going to wonder what is going on. The year is 2020. Human boxing is dead. Nobody wants to watch humans fight anymore when they can watch 2,000-pound steel robots tear each other apart in the ring with no rules, no limits, and no referee who can actually stop anything. Robot boxing is the biggest sport on the planet. The robots are massive, powerful, and built to destroy. The crowds are massive. The money is massive. And the gap between the top fighters and everyone else is enormous. Charlie Kenton used to be a real boxer. He had talent. He had potential. But the sport moved on without him. And now he is a small-time robot boxing promoter, scraping by on the edges of the circuit, betting money he does not have on robots that are one fight away from falling apart completely. He is charming in that particular way, that people who have never fully grown up tend to be quick with a joke, good at talking his way out of situations, and completely unable to hold himself accountable for anything. His mechanic and the closest thing he has to a real relationship is Bailey Talent, a woman who runs a gym her late father built and who has known Charlie long enough to see him clearly, which means she cares about him and is also completely exhausted by him. Charlie is in debt to basically everyone. He is one bad fight away from having nothing at all. And then his life gets significantly more complicated. Charlie's ex-girlfriend has died. And that means her son, Charlie's son, 11-year-old Max Kenton, needs a guardian. Max has an aunt and uncle who want to take him in. The uncle is wealthy. They can give Max a stable, comfortable life. And Charlie, who has never been a father in any real sense of the word, is more than happy to let that happen. Except, he negotiates a deal first. He blackmails the uncle into paying him $100,000 in exchange for signing away his parental rights for the summer. $100,000 for his own son. He takes the money without hesitation. But there is a catch: he has to keep Max for the summer while the aunt and uncle go to Europe. So Charlie and Max are thrown together into a situation neither of them asked for, with nothing between them except blood and a whole lot of resentment. Max is not what Charlie expected. He is tough, smart, fearless, and has absolutely zero interest in pretending to be okay with a father who was never there and who just sold him to the highest bidder. He calls Charlie out directly, holds nothing back, and refuses to shrink himself to make the situation more comfortable for anyone. Charlie does not know what to do with him, so he does what he always does. He focuses on the robots and hopes everything else figures itself out. Charlie loses his best robot early on, destroyed in a fight he bet everything on, and he and Max end up scavenging a junkyard looking for spare parts to keep going. And this is where everything changes. Max, climbing around in the dark through piles of old metal, loses his footing and starts to slide down a massive heap of scrap. He grabs onto something to stop himself from falling, and what he grabbed onto is a robot arm. He digs further and finds an entire robot buried in the junk. His name is Atom. Generation 2, which means he is old, outdated, built as a sparring robot, not a fighter, which means he was designed to take punishment, not dish it out. He has a shadow function that allows him to mirror the movements of whoever is controlling him in real time. Nobody wanted him. Nobody kept him. He ended up in a junkyard because in the world of robot boxing, old and outdated means worthless. Max sees something different. Max sees a fighter. Charlie thinks he is crazy. Atom is too old, too small, too weak to compete against the monsters on the circuit. But Max refuses to let it go. He cleans Atom up, repairs him, and demands that Charlie give him a chance. And because Charlie has no better options and a kid who will not take no for an answer, he agrees. Atom's first fight is at an underground venue called Crash Palace, a grimy, loud, electric place where the rules are different and the crowds are hungry for blood. Nobody expects Atom to survive, but here is what nobody accounted for. Charlie Kenton, whatever his failures as a human being, knows boxing. He understands movement, angles, timing, defense, and how to read an opponent. And with Adam's shadow function, everything Charlie knows can be translated directly into the ring. Charlie and Adam fight as one. Adam wins, and then he wins again. And again. Max handles the promotion, the social media, the crowd energy, and it turns out he is brilliant at it. People start paying attention. Adam goes from a joke to a contender, climbing through the underground circuit fight by fight, win by win. And something else starts happening alongside the winning. Charlie and Max start becoming something they have never been before. A team, a family, slowly, awkwardly, with plenty of friction along the way, but genuinely, undeniably, something real starts growing between them. Charlie starts showing up, not just for the fights, for Max. For the first time in his life, Charlie Kenton is actually present for someone who needs him. Adam's run through the underground attracts attention from the World Robot Boxing League, the major leagues. The real thing, they get an invitation to compete, and Adam keeps winning. He defeats Twin Cities, a national champion. The wins pile up, the crowds get bigger, the world starts watching. And at the top of that world sits Zeus. Zeus is not just the champion, he is a symbol. Built by a billionaire Russian owner and his daughter Farah Lemkova, and engineered by the best robotics team money can buy, Zeus has never lost. He is faster, stronger, and more advanced than anything else on the circuit by a significant margin. Nobody has ever come close to beating Zeus. Nobody has ever even made it through all the rounds against Zeus. But Max wants that fight. He wants it with the kind of absolute certainty that only an 11-year-old who believes in something completely can have. And Charlie, for the first time, does not want to run away from a challenge. They take the fight. The night of the fight arrives, and the arena is packed. Zeus against Adam. The unbeatable champion against the robot nobody wanted. The billion-dollar machine against the bot pulled out of a junkyard by an 11-year-old who refused to give up on him. The crowd does not expect much. Round 1, Zeus is everything the reputation promised. Faster than Adam. Stronger. More precise. He hits like a freight train and barely seems to notice Adam's counters. But Adam takes the punishment. That is what he was built for. He absorbs hits that would have ended any other robot and keeps coming back. Round 2, Charlie starts finding the rhythm. He studies Zeus's patterns, spots the gaps, feeds the information through Adam's shadow function. Adam starts landing shots that nobody expected. The crowd starts to stir. Round 3, something extraordinary happens. Zeus's automated programming cannot adapt fast enough to what Adam is doing. Because Adam is not fighting like a robot anymore. He is fighting like Charlie Kenton, unpredictable, instinctive, human. The crowd erupts. Zeus's owners, panicking, shut down his automated systems and switch to manual control. But it is too late. The momentum is shifted. The arena is deafening. In the final round, Charlie does something that defines everything this story has been building toward. He steps into the shadow position himself. He is physically boxing Zeus through Adam. Every punch, every movement, every defensive slip Charlie's body, translated through steel. For the first time since the sport abandoned him, Charlie Kenton is in the ring again. And he is fighting not for money, not for ego, not for any of the things that drove him before. He is fighting for his son. The final bell rings. Zeus wins by judge's decision. On points, on damage, on the official record, Zeus is still champion. But something happened in that arena that the scorecards cannot capture. Adam went the distance against Zeus, something no robot has ever done. The crowd is on their feet not for the champion but for the robot from the junkyard who refused to fall down. Adam is the people's champion, and everyone in that building knows it. Charlie and Max stand in the ring together. And for the first time, it is not awkward between them. It is not strained or complicated by guilt and absence and all the years that were wasted. It is just a father and a son, standing together, having done something real. Charlie turns down a rematch offer, not because he is afraid, but because he finally understands what he actually won that night, and it has nothing to do with the title. The film ends with Charlie and Max together, not with a dramatic declaration or a neat resolution, just together. Which, given where they started, is everything. So, that is Real Steel, 2011. Hugh Jackman, Dakota Goyo, Evangeline Lilly, directed by Sean Levy. A movie that looks like it is about robot boxing, and it is. The robot fights are genuinely spectacular, but is actually about a man learning to be a father before it is too late, and a kid who never stopped believing in something everyone else had given up on. It made nearly $300 million at the box office and was nominated for an Academy Award for its visual effects. And honestly, it deserved every dollar and every cheer. If this one got you fired up, hit subscribe, because we do this every single week. New movie, full story, under 15 minutes, no filler. And drop a comment right now, did Adam deserve to win that fight? Because a lot of people think the judges got it wrong. See you in the next one.